Greetings, everybody. This is Harmony speaking. Today is May 15th, 2018. And I'm here with you. I have a couple of friends. I have George with us and Chick. She has a YouTube channel herself about the Mandela effect. And we're here to talk about geography. We've made many videos on geography, but once again, maps the world, geography has changed. So let me go ahead and pull up a map here. And can everybody see my screen? Chick and George?
I can.
Okay,
I
good.
can too.
So can someone monitor the live stream on YouTube and read the chat too?
I have the live stream pulled up on YouTube right now.
Oh, okay, so it's streaming. Okay, good. All right, so the first thing I want to talk about is what the heck is going on with Russia? I mean, this is like getting ridiculous. Look how this piece of real estate has just completely broken off and moved way over here. This is breaking off. This is getting skinnier. This is just stretching out. And it looks like it's getting ready to touch Alaska. And let me zoom in a little bit here. I notice, let me go here. Look at that, people. Look how close Russia is to America. Anybody remember that? That's ridiculous, isn't it?
It was never that close.
And look at this thing here. This is America. This is part of Alaska. This little thing here. And it's underneath Russia. Can you believe it? Is that not nuts or what? So let's go to the satellite image. Can you guys look at that? They look like they're starting to mirror each other, doesn't it? It kind of looks like they're.
Wow.
Yeah, if you draw a line down, you know, aren't they beginning to mirror each other? They're beginning to look the same.
Everything is.
Yeah, it's starting to look like a mirror.
That's one of the biggest things I noticed.
That is just really, really flip. And look at this thing. It looks like this gigantic, you know, let's go like this, you know. Play with that for a minute. Get that down. Doesn't want to cooperate. Maybe doesn't want me to do that. But look at that. It looks like a big, gigantic finger. I mean, look at. Do you see what I'm talking about? How stretched out that thing is?
Oh, wow.
What do you think, Chick?
It's the shape of it to me is just absolutely insane. Like that side of Russia, the Asian, I suppose the Asian half of Russia there, it just seems to be getting like longer and skinnier. It's like a really unfamiliar shape to me. And then as far as when it comes over beside Alaska, the shape of the coast and it's just completely unfamiliar to me. And I like originally for me, Alaska and Russia were attached to each other by land, and then they split apart during this shifting, and now they seem to be almost coming back together again.
But look how then this is completely. There's like a whole new sea here. Just completely insane. Obviously, I lost my cursor. So what I don't remember is see this little piece of real estate here? This is Lithuania and Poland. This is Russia right here. This is Russia. Russia has a little chunk of real estate on the, was that the Baltic Sea?
I always remember that, but it definitely looked different.
And poor Poland is just changing shape, and then Germany has all this waterfront. It's got part of a peninsula going on over there. And then I'm still waiting for Italy and Sicily to touch. They're getting pretty darn close there. But they still haven't.
Still 2 miles away from each other, Italy and Sicily. Yeah, they're so close together.
I mean, look at that. It's like a little channel going in there now. It's crazy.
It is. It's every time I look at it, I just can't handle it. It's so strange. Like it was nowhere near that close for me originally.
What else? What do you want to comment on, George?
It's changed so much. I mean, everything's just getting bigger and smaller, and
Well, what's interesting here is for me, the Hudson Bay got some new islands. This is all jagged. It's got some extra water weight here. This thing's completely changed to me.
see, I like what I see is it. I see it shifting towards a new Earth.
It's like making room for something. And look at Sweden and Norway here. Norway's getting real skinny here. And look, it picked up some new real estate over here. Norway picked up some new real estate over here. Finland just looks bizarre. And look at this thing. It looks like this big gigantic finger. I mean, do you guys remember this big gigantic finger sitting up here?
No. Like
It
I
looks,
was
it looks it looks like a big finger. I mean, I swear there's more real estate here. A lot
Yeah,
more
there's more
estate.
real estate everywhere.
Yeah.
it's like the scale of things is warping a lot because even like the size of the Taj Mahal and the size of the Statue of Liberty and then the sizes of like obviously individual countries and continents, for some reason the size of a lot of things seems to be warping.
Let's see the Caspian Sea. This seems a lot bigger here. Caspian Sea's getting a little pretty dang big, isn't it? It used to be a lot smaller. It's getting gigantic now.
And it was a different shape, at least for me a couple of shifts ago. It was a much rounder shape and it was smaller. Like it was not this kind of strange, long, twisty shape. Buster says, hey all.
Hey there.
Hey Buster.
Howdy.
And then this country, I don't know how you say that, Uzbekistan. It all of a sudden it goes at this sharp angle here and the sharp angle here. I mean, these sharp angles never existed before. See, they really stand out when you look. I mean, anybody remember that?
No, that's new for me too. Sunshine Girl says, hi Harmony.
Hey, how's it going? And then,
Okay.
then the Ukraine. Look at the Ukraine. Looks like it's got a whole bunch of new real estate over here. Ukraine was never looked like this. Just the Ukraine looks way out of whack to me. What do you guys think?
Seems to be a lot longer of a shape, and it seems to be
that
quite
way. Yeah.
out of scale, like size wise. Like looking at
It's
Ukraine
huge.
beside Germany, Poland, all the other European countries, it seems to be ridiculously massive today.
I mean, seriously. Well, I should probably get rid of this thing over here. The Ukraine was not this gigantic country. You're right. It's bigger than Poland. But, you know, people say, "Oh, you're only using Google Earth, whatever." Look at how huge the Ukraine is. It's just gigantic. It's bigger than all these countries. Bigger. It's bigger than Germany. It's bigger than France. It's the Ukraine is one of the biggest countries in Europe now.
It is.
Does anybody remember that?
No, not me anyway.
Oh, I don't remember that.
The Ukraine and Turkey have gotten really long and big for me.
And then, where am I? Switzerland, to me, has changed quite a bit. It looks like, you see these like squiggly lines, there's like a little foot here, there's like another squiggly line, a foot, and I don't know, something over here, and like a squiggly line with a little foot here, and little foot here. Switzerland's got all these like little feet. You know what I'm saying? I don't remember Switzerland looking like that. Maybe you guys don't remember Switzerland like I do, but Switzerland's just way out of whack.
Yeah, I see it.
So let me go to your map, Chick, and so I'll give the floor to you. Let's go over your map. And I don't know how to make it bigger though. Don't make it bigger. I guess I can, huh? Okay, cool. So where do you want me to zoom in on your map?
Well, first of all, looking at Greenland, I noticed there's a. I don't think they can see my cursor, but there's this like little arm that's reaching out of the northeastern part of it. So a little bit lower than that. Yeah, right there. That wasn't there yesterday. Like I was doing a live stream last night and that wasn't there. So
Yeah, that's new.
Greenland's moving like a little bit like more east on the northern part of it. And then also down at the southern part of it, Labrador Sea wasn't there yesterday. Even though I've heard of the Labrador Sea before, but it just wasn't there, like written there when I was streaming last night. So
yeah. But it looks really crunched into Canada. I'm like, is Greenland going to be part of Canada pretty soon? I mean, what the heck's going on there? That's nuts.
I don't know. It's super strange.
So what's next?
What's next is, let's see now. I'm just looking at the general shape of Russia here. There's a little, hang on, I can't see past. There's like a little thing that says Google Hangouts is sharing your screen. I can't really actually see over it. Let me look. Yeah, it's still there on the other screen. Okay. Right where the Google Hangouts thing is where the southern part of Asia is becoming more rounded, and all the things that were, you see how the round belly of China has gotten even more like sucked in. It's like pulled in even more so, and then the tip of Vietnam is almost aligned with the tip of India. So they're almost the same size. They're like this kind of double, I'm not even sure how you would describe the shape, but like little double teeth or something sticking out of it. And I wonder if this entire coast is going to just round, like become a far more condensed shape.
I don't remember India going way up here.
I know, that was, for me, that was 2 shifts ago.
Oh,
I
it was
did
2
a
shifts
video.
ago?
I did, well, for me, might not have been for you, but just for me, like I did a video about that where it had become diamond shaped instead of an upside down triangle.
Well, for me, that's brand new.
Mm-hmm.
Next.
Let me see. I'm looking at I have the map open in front of me here, so I can just have a look and see what else is looking a little bit different today. For the most part, it was, yeah, the Labrador Sea, the changing of the coasts. Novaya Zemlya, I can't really pronounce that, but that island has gotten a lot bigger. So over the part of Russia that's gained so much ground in the south, there's this long island. Yeah, beside where it says Barents Sea there's that long island that's above Russia, and it's gotten a lot longer and a lot bigger. And it's also moved further south as the coast of Russia has moved further south on the European end. So yeah, where it says Zemlya, that's the island I'm talking about. Novaya Zemlya, I can't pronounce it, but anyways, this was much further north, and it was much smaller when it first showed up.
To me, it looks like everything's getting labeled.
Yeah, there's a lot of labels for sure. and just everything's being kind of squished together. It almost looks like everything's kind of crunched together.
Yeah, everything's just kind of merging into each other.
Well, for those who don't know, I'm a quantum healing hypnosis technique practitioner, and like one of my clients' ourselves basically said they're making room for something.
Mm-hmm.
That's why half the world's oceans are making room.
Oh.
And he kind of alluded to, as you say, there were splits and whatnot. It's a very complicated topic, but basically he said it is intentional and things are being mushed together because they're making room on the other side of the world for something. So I don't know exactly what that is yet. I could hypothesize, but I'm not going to do that.
I've hypothesized. I feel like it's I don't know. If you look back in history, it could be well, in the Garden of Eden, maybe Eden Marrow, I think is what they called it. But that was just my first thought.
I just want to see India on this map. Oh, lost my person. So that's why I didn't really notice it. Because see, on my map, when India goes up here, see how they're all dotted lines?
Yeah.
That's why it never stood out for me. That's why I didn't notice. Because when I see India, to me, it kind of like ends here. Yeah, so I didn't notice these. Are these territories of India, maybe? I don't know.
Well, when it first appeared diamond shaped, it wasn't a broken line, and then it was like about a week after that, the broken line showed up, and it started to say in different spots disputed territory, and so it's almost like they haven't quite decided which countries own that most northern part.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting. Okay, that's why I never noticed. I was like, how the hell did I miss that? I'm like, there's no way I missed it. It's because it's a bunch of dotted lines. That's why I didn't notice. Okay. So, did you want to go back to your map for anything?
The other thing that I was going to point out on the map is that the Horn of Africa seems to be even like longer today. It seems to be kind of stretched out, like it's almost reaching to the eastern part of Yemen, and it wasn't before.
I've went through periods where I've seen it change day by day. Small changes, but it just seems like everything's just kind of growing and morphing at a really slow rate.
Yeah. Well, you want to hear something really crazy? I made a video on this. Is on my timeline, Colombia was over here. Venezuela was here. Brazil was over here. Peru was underneath Brazil. And then we had Chile down here. That's how South America looked on my old Earth.
Yeah, I've pretty much gotten to the point where I don't even remember anymore. It all looks the same, but it all looks different.
Yeah.
I think that Sudan and Chad look a different shape. Like I'm looking at my map right here, and Chad, like the lettering barely fits in. And usually that's a good hint on this map when the lettering gets really crazy that something has changed. So you see how
Yeah, it barely hits the lines. Why is it hitting the lines? Well, Israel overextends, but in general, they're within the lines.
yeah, like usually it'll fix itself as it's kind of going along, but when a change comes in, something will be really crazy. Like when the Mediterranean Sea got in the last shift got so much smaller, you see how it's kind of bent there, like it's almost swirling the letters. That was written straight across, but then when there's no room for it to be written straight across, it became kind of bent like that.
Yeah, he used to go straight across. It's pretty funny.
Yeah. And then above that, Vatican City showed up, and that wasn't there either before.
Oh yeah, let's talk about the Vatican. I forgot. All right, so there's 195 countries in the world. That seems to be the one thing I've noticed is consistent in these rallies. And
Really?
there's two
I was-
countries. How many? You remember how many?
The last time I looked it up, it was uncertain.
Yeah.
Because-
Well, anyway, it's
Yeah.
the general consensus is it's 195. There's two countries that do not belong to the United Nations. In Pakistan, I clearly remember as one. The second country was a country that sounded like Pakistan. But today, the second country that doesn't belong to the United Nations is called the Holy See. So it's called the Holy See. Has anybody ever heard of that country?
Whoa.
So the Holy See is the Vatican.
Really?
Yeah. And for all the critics out there, if you go look it up, you'll say the Holy See is from antiquity. It was used a long time ago, and you'll read how they stopped using it in the 1920s. It became the Vatican State. So everybody began to refer to the Vatican as the Vatican State, as a sovereign nation independent from the world. But it's listed as it's called the Holy See. So all the critics will just say, "Hey, you don't know your history. Too bad. You know, poor history knowledge is not a Mandela effect." But here's a Mandela effect for me. See, I've been to the Vatican and I've been inside of it, and I stood in front of here. And by the way, these pictures don't do it justice. It's like 10 times bigger when you're in person. I mean, look how small these people are. Okay, this thing is freaking massive. But the thing is, it was not. It was never this dark of wood. It was a lighter wood. I was there in the late 80s. So the late 80s is when I was there. But still, wood doesn't change color in just a couple of decades, okay? It's a
No.
much lighter wood. And the sword, this is kind of a jagged, this looks kind of weird pattern. It used to be smaller, these little, because it curves around and around. The curves were much smaller. They had bigger peaks and valleys. And it was very smooth and fluid and it looked beautiful. It did have all these like necklace things and all this garment, and it didn't look so gaudy. It was not so gaudy. It did have the statue up there, but this thing just, and this thing has decoration. If you look up close, sorry, I can get a up close picture, but it has all kinds of decorations and stuff on it, and it's just the pulpit is just 100% completely changed for me in this rally. All right, then. Does anybody else have anything to add?
Let me look and see on my map if there's anything else to add to there. I think the Tasman Sea is a little bit wider, not dramatically wider, but wider than before. And that's when Australia moved a lot further west. It left so much space in between itself and New Zealand now that the area in between is called the Tasman Sea.
Oh, well.
Well, we found a new sea earlier today. What was the name of that sea?
The Azul Sea?
Is that what it was? Let me find that real quick.
Azul Sea?
Do you know how to spell it?
I'm still here.
Oh, that's not it. Hey, remember, let me look up the name real quick. I have it here. Azov, sorry. A-Z-O-E. Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, this sea. Oh, yeah, here we go.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this is a brand new sea for us.
Where's that?
So here's Romania, the Ukraine, and again, Ukraine again. Here's the Black Sea. So there's the Black Sea, Turkey. You got your bearings now. So look at this. I don't remember this being here. This big water. So when I zoomed in on it, I had to keep zooming and zooming, and eventually you get the name, the Azov Sea. So this is a brand new sea for me.
Me too. I've not seen that before today.
And the Caspian Sea we went over, and it's just Caspian Sea is ridiculous. It used to be this small. The Caspian Sea was a small little thing here, and now it's gone south and north, and now it's going east. And Caspian Sea is just gigantic now. It's huge. The Caspian Sea was not as big as the Black Sea. You see the Black Sea, the Caspian Sea, they're pretty much the same now. The Caspian Sea was much smaller.
Azerbaijan looks really weird now, and maybe that's because of the Caspian Sea. Strange.
Oh, wow. Yeah. See, now it's just everything's different now. Whenever I look at it, there's like it's just changed so much. It's hard to find a detail that hasn't.
That's true. And then here we go. The beautiful blue marble we live on. It's half ocean. Who the hell remembers that? Half the world is ocean. Well, I mean, there's islands and stuff.
Half sea, half land.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very interesting.
It's getting ready for a split. If you ask me.
A complete split.
It's going to split. That's what I think.
I feel like whatever's happening is close.
Oh, it's close. Yeah, I have to agree. Yeah, there's been a huge report. There's this Facebook page group, and one of the people that are members make YouTube videos, and they're talking about there's all kinds of reports where people are seeing this beautiful violet purple energy flowing in over this place.
Oh yeah, I can see the ultraviolet spectrum.
Yeah, so a lot of people are reporting it, and they're saying, hey, this just begun. The energy's here. Receive it and let's go.
I'm really curious as to what's going to show up because there's so much space there that's just ocean. Like ridiculous. Like that's so crazy that you're just looking at the earth there and it's just ocean, like Hawaii and ocean, and that's it. No ice caps on the north that I can see right there. There's probably something, but I can't, with the clouds and everything, can't see.
There's no ice cap. They don't show one.
They're not showing anything at all?
No, don't show any ice cap.
Oh, that is just cloud swirls.
Mm-hmm.
I thought maybe they were showing a tiny bit of ice sheet or something, but no, they're not.
No.
Oh, boy.
No, there's no ice cap that they show.
Good grief.
And then when you go south, there's just Antarctica. There's that thing.
So strange. The countries look out of proportion with that globe too. Like, it just like South America looks huge on that globe.
No, it's Google Maps in the satellite view. So it's Google Maps and satellite view. I could go to Google Earth if I looked up and down. Everybody was, oh, look at that. They show the Terminator line. Let's see. Oh, look, they show the night side of them. Oh, look, there's our fake sun.
Yeah, there's the white.
There's the fake sun. Where'd it go? There it is. Oh, there's our fake sun.
Is it a white cube? It's got angles on it, right? Yeah, I think I can see that from here.
Yeah, well, that's another video.
Oh, boy. At least they put that in there for us.
It's pretty funny. Look, they even show you the sunspot reflection. Look at that. See this sunspot?
Yeah.
Isn't that funny? So the sun is how many millions of miles away, and it has a sunspot. And there's a good old Milky Way in the background.
Yep, there it is. Oh my gosh.
All right, you have anything to add, George? Or?
Not really. I mean, you guys kind of pointed out anything I would add. It looks as if it's splitting. Like we're returning to whatever, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like the overall thing, I like just seeing the shapes of everything change so much. Like I'm looking at Mozambique right now. It just looks like the craziest shape. And I think it makes sense. Like what you're saying is that things are being pushed together to make room for something else. Whereas I was thinking that everything was going to be pushed together into like a Pangea Proxima, like a massive
Yeah.
supercontinent, so that in this different setup of the world, it would be much easier to have a one government over a one supercontinent instead of all the countries being far apart like they used to be. But that's a little bit just what I was thinking.
I feel like it's happening.
I just noticed the Caspian Sea kind of looks like it's beginning to look like a seahorse. To use a whole lot of imagination, this thing looks like a seahorse head. I don't know.
It does look a little bit like a seahorse, especially the top
Yep.
half of it looks like a seahorse.
That's a good visual to keep in mind. Oh, look, he's drooling. Oops. He's
A drooling seahorse.
It's drooling, man. I don't know. Look, there's his eyes. It looks like a dog now. It's a puppy. It's got little eyes. Here's a puppy nose.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just playing around. But it kind of looks that way. Because I made jokes about this here. They're playing baseball up here. See this little guy? He's got a hat, and here's his nose, and his mouth. This is his catcher's mitt, and they're playing ball. Here's the ball. So Russia's playing American sport. They're playing ball. And then you got Japan who's doing the fire-breathing dragon thing. Hey, whoops, I lost Japan. Oh, no, there we go. Japan cracks me up. Japan is like spitting stuff. It looks like a little dragon. It doesn't look like a little dragon. It's like shooting fire out of its mouth or something. I mean, everything's beginning to look like cartoon characters. We can't forget this one. Canada looks like a scrotal sac and a male appendage here, and it's pissing on New York. So we got Canada pissing on America now. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like I like the way you think.
They're all beginning to look like cartoon characters if you really look at it.
Yeah. So the countries are taking shape with a personality.
And of course, everybody knows China's now the big chicken. I mean, here you got the rooster's head and its beak and its belly, and here's his little feet, and here's the tail. Here's his tail. I mean, China looks like a rooster. It really does.
That's what I was about to say, was that you had captured the shape of the coast of China before it had that round belly shape on it.
Oh, I know. Well, you can watch that video. It cuts off. It used to cut off right here.
Yeah.
It used to go straight across. Yeah. Yeah. So China, the border went along here. Which means Hong Kong was up here. Hong Kong moved. I mean, this whole area's dramatically changed. Japan's got this little neck going on here. It's breaking apart into different islands. I made the joke, is it going to turn into the Hawaiian Islands? Here's the big island, Hawaii. Here's Oahu, and anyway.
So far out.
So, welcome to the Mandela Effect, and welcome to your new Earth. You have now taken a tour. And get familiar with your home. You might want to take a look around. So, I think I'm pretty complete. You guys want anything else?
Yeah, just what are the names of the two oceans there either side of India? I think one is the Arabian. I can see it now. The Arabian Sea and the Bay of Bengal. I've heard of the Bay of Bengal before, but I have not seen the Arabian Sea written on my map until now. So it's written in there today.
No, on your map.
Yeah.
Well,
The Arabian Sea and the Bay of Bengal. All right. Well, thanks for joining me, everybody. I hope you're all doing well. Until next time, God bless. Peace. And be well.